Hello, America, modern nations. You see, we have an illusion. We have like what people aren't be able to see through every generation, every year, every day. We have people with treatments of positive or negative in other people's names. You know, they want individually grouped it together. They want to speak about who's good or bad. Oh, that's a good person. That's a bad person. And then, you know, they're preventing free speech. They're preventing all that is actually recorded, true always, not denying exceptions. There is one identity of truth that is as exceptions and as exception nature at the same time. But it is prevented free speech and science using free speech to actually true always. So what denies that was facilitated to pretend other in relationship to the jobs of science. Assume. Simultaneously needing to pretend that jobs mean other than they do, and with physical delusions. So there's still an aggression and worse than criminal incompetence associated with all the opinion nature since founding, preventing mandated law, preventing American history from being told. They blame it on prejudice. For example, what didn't let any American demonstrate the breaching method employed fact treatment nature styles. For example, as criminal and seditious natures. Originally and still. That's not science. They were propagated as narratives with culture that are physical, you know, culture or identity abridged, not from the identity science as individual group, species, identity, or volume. This is a quality of fact treatment nature that they invested everyone incapable of affording. They invested everyone to answering questions and making opinions, leaving out and then defending that offensively, breaching screens, breaching tools, breaching worse than weapons, everyone. Still preventing mandated law since founding. And for example, I've been telling you guys I want to be a species coach. Now, when a coach speaks to like their athlete, for example, and they're communicating that, they have to tell them, oh, don't make excuses. Oh, I know that, but just go and get over it. And that's correct. See, but the difference here is, since, for example, when we focus on a subject, on a goal, we don't leave out exceptions and exception nature. It's all right to say that and just keep training. Like, for example, if you have a legitimate excuse. But it's not all right to deny the existence of real excuses. So, for example, and then everyone's sharing styles of physical delusions with passions and emotions. I mean, lying about passions and emotions, which are not one stagnant thing. They are a relationship to 5 identities of volume, as sequence/semi-nature, which shows how there are also 3 natures: sequence, / and simultaneous nature. We'll examine this. We can examine this. It is how one identity has simultaneous natures simultaneously, a trinity one way, and 5 semi-natures another way, bonded, as its own identity of value progression. See, but we have to have mandated law followed. We have people that never heard mandated law followed, so all they heard is fake positive natures, fake people of integrity, where it counts, and fake contrast, overtly not integrity. We have treatments of issues that making opinions, what they call experts, summarizing, making summary convictions of what they say by reliant upon uses of others' identities. Or people this or people that. Truths, data, but leaving out all that is actually recorded to correlation. All that is simultaneously 100% correct. Away, not denying exceptions, an exception ignore exception nature. And as true as those exceptions at the same time. That's an identity of relationship to itself that reveals evolution's fruits and gifts. Inventions work or not in relationship to this identity of value progressions, identity of relationship to itself and the value of that. So I've been asking for years to have a response online because the Wethersfield police, they use their location to fabricate recorded audio and video. Connecticut courts do that also. They already had interbranch family members already invested to criminally foreign influence databases involved organized crime acts. Then World Trade Center crime acts. And since then, preventing offensively people from telling too. Excuse me. Wethersfield police recorded overtly and insidiously fabricating fake audio and video with interbranch from my town, on and off the state judicial branch offices, on and off the state prison offices, locations next to those places, all recorded and confessed, demonstrated, involved with people with a whole bunch of natures of organized crime and influences with them. Nothing personal against those people. This is also related to how they keep people using names and these styles of liars pretending their integrity. When we never had integrity. Oh, well, that's politics, you know? It's worse than criminal competence when they say, oh, is the president allowed to say, or is the governors? Do the governors do it? They leave out all exceptions in exception nature. Because you can't understand American history until it's about this. That breaching organized crime method had all locations, areas, and states criminally foreign influence. Delusions raw. The sciences, criminally foreign influence, delusions raw. Oh, but we had cultures from these countries and this, they were all here. Culture, in other words, too. This is the culture /S making more of itself. They're keeping culture about physical culture, about metaphysical culture, or they're keeping identity culture, not discourse, individual, group, and species identity of volume /S, which is correlations. So we have more World Trade Center predicate acts, roles. Now these are also roles with medical locations that have nothing to do with medicine and healthcare. As people actually involved with that, but they have organized crime methods, acts, natures, family members, roles with interstates systems, jobs connected people, former director of the FBI down, Robert Luskin, his co-defendants, their family members, recorded and involved with database crimes with each age of campus connected, locations next to the campuses, uses of that, or how this is on and off campuses, keeping our formal stewards' families need to hide life progressions, need to hide from and to hurt correlation nature, while pretending other, as breaching screens, tools, and weapons. So I'm leaving out the names, too, because then they're just going to keep sequence shifting. Oh, but we have no investigative reporters that are honest. They will not follow mandated law. They have the networks insulated to people answering the phones from them, retired and standing, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with Connecticut networks with our agencies criminally foreign influence. Now they won't fix their fake news. They attach me and others to fake words, fake locations, fake ties to others, fake natures of ties to others. Note they did that to force not told on, which was found out anyway, but there were more then and now. A principal child defender's campus. My town's police chief, his family members involved. The same ones involved with a Fred Grisey from reportedly confessed, demonstrated involved with New York City. Involved with more people also on off the World Trade Center, and on off the Ninth Circuit Court right before the World Trade Center attack, involved with sequence shifts and predicate acts interstates and worse, as people also involved with predicate acts on off CCSU, on off East Hartford. Now where they make planes, no. Where they have schools in intercities, tied to like little child schools attached to the colleges and universities that are involved with this. Worse than racketeering method, worse than war crimes, simple little method, using human fact-sheet nature, using identities. So they make overall allegations against people who are trying to report actually recorded truth sequence, actually reported reality. So we have the physical delusions, and we have the criminally foreign influence premises treatments of Connecticut interbranch and interstates in the way of having justice. We have wire crime methods and mail crime methods, falsified audio and video on and off the Wethersfield Police Department, human trafficking basically roles, a significant part of it. Also interbranch intercities, the same ones like two Mendez police involved with falsified police reports, fabricated audio and video on and off the Wethersfield Police Department, with people with New Britain Superior Court also involved with them. Dozens and dozens of people from our town, intercities, involved with New Britain Superior Court, also involved with predicate acts with child databases, and with the principal child offenders campus, then and further involved with more people sexually, medically, and interbranch, spreading lies and sick, their own sick natures and needs to hide life progressions through the kids. Uses of other people's names with passions and emotions, dishonest delusions wrought, forging names, switching names, roles interbranch. Now the media is also in collusion with them. You're preventing people, pretending people make opinions and keeping pretending that they don't realize that they're making opinions dishonestly, in other words, that's all they're doing. Use other people's names sickly and or overtly, what they call positive, as in criminal and seditious natures. Anyone they speak good about, they're using as a weapon to hide how they're preventing the mandated law as it actually is. So we have the retired interbranch too involved with the with the media, intermedia, individually grouped together, criminally foreign influence, delusions wrought. So Central Connecticut State University has roles with earlier administrations, and with this one forced to entertain that. Since founding, forced to entertain way worse than just slavery is what it was against everyone. It was a breaching employed method, worse than divide and conquer. This is divide and conquer, make everyone divide and conquer themselves. Then you can't defend that. As a fact-cheating nature style, and afford discerned the quality of fact-cheating nature that has the answer /s properly to what was really causing the negative value nature, progressions, acts, and natures, which is a breaching employed method. As clear as day, these are not means. So they want to put Monday, sorry if they've, excuse me. If we can't afford to liberate and fix the tactically denatured relationship to nature as means that New Yorkers found themselves only capable of fathoming themselves in. That's not by accident. There was slavery in the North and South that was sickly distinct from the slavery in the South before our founding parents were even born. After they started the country, because this was already entrenched, a breaching organized crime method. Now, see, what we have to do is get people from the theater, positive and negative, and that's where they're using real theater. Of course, you don't want to have bad things to happen. Of course, we have to. They're keeping pretending. Well, this is what our viewers like. They like someone. They don't want to hear someone complaining about passion. Follow mandated law. if they want to speak about their passions and emotions, make sure they do it with sequence trill and correcting their fake audio and video. And let's go. Every year since leading up to the World Trade Center attack and since, Connecticut Interbranch has been stacking predicate acts in databases. And then private too, same thing. And they've been needing to hide that, and much tied to it.